Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta.
The following is a class given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on April 12, 1980 in New Orleans, Louisiana. The class begins with a reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 16, Text 11.
King Prithu was born of the dead body of King Vena, as fire is produced from Arani wood. Thus King Prithu will always remain just like fire, and his enemies will not be able to approach him. Indeed, he will be unbearable to his enemies, for although staying very near him, they will never be able to approach him, but will have to remain as if far away. No one will be able to overcome the strength of King Prithu. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Arani wood is a kind of fuel used to ignite fire by friction. At the time of performing sacrifices, one can ignite a fire from Arani wood. Although born of his dead father, King Prithu would still remain just like fire. Just as fire is not easily approached, King Prithu would be unapproachable by his enemies, even though they would appear to be very near him. Thus end the purport by Srila Prabhupada. No one will be able to overcome the strength of King Prithu. And even though the enemies of King Prithu are very near, they have to remain as if they are far away. Of course, Lord Prithu is a Shaktavesh avatar of Krishna. So wherever there is Krishna, Maya cannot stand. Krishna surjo sama Maya hoyandokar Jaha Krishna taha Maya nahi adhikar. So this Krishna conscious movement, Srila Prabhupada said, is an incarnation of Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is a branch of his transcendental tree. The tree of which he is the gardener, as well as he is the tree. So, this movement, although situated in so many countries, so many cities around the world, right in the midst of civilizations based upon Rajagun and Tamagun, although envious-minded people are very near, still they have to stay as if far away. That is the protection which Krishna gives. The Srila Prabhupada so often said that purity is the force. We must maintain our purity, and then Krishna always protects us. Because this movement is not different from Krishna, every preacher, every book distributor, every devotee who's going out, sticking his neck out, so to speak, to present Krishna consciousness, not for any ulterior motive, but for the benefit of the conditioned souls in this material world, who are bound up in ignorance. they are protected by the mercy of Krishna. So of course purity has many connotations. Purity, we study, of course, is there's internal purity and external purity. We take a bath for external purity and we chant Hare Krishna and worship the deities for internal purity. The internal purity, of course, means much more, because with chanting comes the deep obligation we have to our spiritual master. Everyone in this material world is living in a very abominable condition, because they're taking that this body and this mind and this intelligence, which has been received due to so many repetitions of birth and death in this material world, they're taking that this polluted body, mind, and intelligence is their self, and therefore they're suffering. In so many bodies, in so many situations, they're suffering in anxiety, in desire, in so-called misery and so-called enjoyment. They're being tossed around this ocean of material world. Therefore their existence is most abominable. So the spiritual master, he gives one the seed of pure devotion. Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagwan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lota Beach. Krishna sends the spiritual master, and by the mercy of the spiritual master one gets the seed of devotion. And that seed of devotion is so valuable. It saves one from that abominable condition. So the devotee has two obligations. One is he has to tend the seed which sprouts and turns into a plant, into a tree. He has to tend that, because that is a service given to him by his spiritual master. And with that, which is part of the tending itself, he has to fulfill whatever orders, whatever responsibilities the spiritual master gives to him. It's like in the description of taking initiation. It says, when one chants Hare Krishna for some time and is very strict, then the spiritual master gives Gayatri mantra. And Srila Prabhupada said, when this Gayatri mantra is given, that does not mean that he's already perfect. That means now he's ready to make further progress. From that point, now he can become more sincere, more advanced. The spiritual master gives his mercy, seeing the good qualities in someone. Not that there is no bad quality, or that taking second initiation means that having gotten our thread, now there's no more bad quality, everything about me is perfect. Doesn't mean that. It means the spiritual master has seen some sincerity of purpose. Therefore, to reinforce that, he has given some special mercy. In this way, the spiritual master gives his mercy many times, seeing some spark of hope. But the disciple, it is his duty to always remember that without the mercy of his spiritual master, he was simply in a most abominable state. In the most abominable state, and by the mercy of the spiritual master, he's been taken out of that abominable state. Krishna is working through the spiritual master, is present as the spiritual master. The spiritual master who is in his own right a devotee of Lord Chaitanya. So when we chant Hare Krishna, naturally we should be relishing that chanting. In fact, the devotees of the previous acharyas, in their prayers, they say that if someone is chanting and he's not crying, it must be known that when he's hearing the holy name of Krishna, of Lord Chaitanya, his heart isn't melting, his heart is hard like a stone. Very unfortunate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna